We're going to dive into the fundamentals of database reactivation. There are a couple things that I want to leave you here with. Now, I have to do something that I don't necessarily like to do. I have personally made over $110,000 selling database reactivation. My biggest client paid me $15,000 up front. And then just so a lot of you know, I'm not just some has-been. My very last client was July 29th, June 27th, paid me close to $10,000 to set up database reactivation. So this is something that I'm currently doing. Now, what I want you to leave here knowing is three very key things, okay? Number one, tools, they come and they go. Number two, businesses, they are literally sitting on a gold mine and they will pay you to extract that gold out of the gold mine. Number three, what is DBR really? Because a lot of people, a lot of gurus, a lot of people, they will just say DBR and they're not actually explaining to you what DBR is. And once you understand these three things, you will literally have a superpower in the digital marketing world. Okay. So, number one, tools come and go. I laughed as I put this together today. This was a king from the 18th century, centuries ago, long before phones, faxes, or emails. Kings and nobles had databases, all right? They had their kingdom's subjects, their allies, their partners. And when the king wanted to announce a royal wedding for his daughter, and he wanted to bring together friends and family that would come and bring dowries and bring money, or they wanted soldiers for war, or they wanted to invite nobles to a feast, he didn't just go out and send his messengers to find cold leads and random strangers that would come over and bring his daughter money for their wedding. No. He sent messengers on horseback to people he already knew, lords, landowners, town folks, and this was the OG database reactivation, okay? They had an existing list of their subjects. They sent out their messengers, they sent out messages on a scroll via their messenger, and they would drop some wax and they would put their stamp of their ring on it, and then they got responses. They got attendance from their lords, and they got gifts, and they got loyalty. And this was the original database reactivation. Now let's move forward a couple centuries to those of you that are more mature on this call. Does anyone know what this is? Tony says Xerox. So my dad was actually one of the top salesperson people at Xerox during the early 90s. And yes, you all got it right. That is a fax machine. For those of you that didn't know, it's just called a fax machine, okay? And one of the cool things about the fax machine is back in the 1980s and 1990s when fax machines were in nearly every office, businesses use them the exact same way that we use text messages, emails, and other outreach methods today. My dad actually used to sell $500,000 Xerox fax machines to car dealerships, and they would do their version of database reactivation campaigns, which were called fax blasts, where people who had bought cars 2 or 3 years ago were likely ready for service or trade in. And instead of cold calling each person, they would do a fax blast campaign. And this is what the message looked like. It would be a fax, and it would say, "Hey, John, it's been 24 months since you purchased your car. We'd love to see you or anyone in your office back for a free inspection and trade-in evaluation this weekend. Reply to this fax or call us to reserve your spot." Now, because it felt personal and urgent, customers usually responded either by faxing back yes, or calling the dealership. This simple fax reactivation campaign often filled a dealership's weekend with appointments. I personally worked at a car dealership that has been in business for over 100 years, and I happen to know that they use this method. And I found old fax. I couldn't find an actual copy, but I found old faxes that they would send to their customers. They were re-engaging old customers that were sitting in their database with a fax machine. Now, over the years, the way we reached out to people, it evolved a little bit. We had something called a pager. If you look in the top right hand corner, even airlines, don't rush to your flight. It's been canceled. Here's your new flight. Even this says major gas leak at Unit 101. All fire team members should report. So even firefighters, they were using database reactivation to notify people and doing mass blast campaigns. Then we fell into the realm of direct mail. How many of you on this call have received a letter in the mail saying, hey, we have a product or service that you might like? And it happens. Then we had the realm of the call centers. This guy right here in the blue shirt, I feel like I know him. I feel like he's called me a couple of times. But we had call centers, and then we moved into the realm of email marketing, and now we get every single blast just blasting us on our text mess on our phone because everyone has our phone numbers. We get text messages, we get emails, we get notifications, we get Slack notifications, we get WhatsApp. And so what do all of these things have in common? Can anybody put in the chat, what do every one of these systems have in common? Here's even a little bit of help. What do all of these need to work? Justin puts in there a database of contacts. If you put a list or customers or database, then you are right. You win the prize. And the prize is straight up clout because I don't actually have a prize for you right now. So, what we've gotten to is that the tools change, but the process stays the same. Now, what does this mean if a list has all of these things in common, from kings sending out their messengers on horses to people sending out homing pigeons to people sending out texts and fax and emails and letters? It means that a business is sitting on a gold mine, okay? Now imagine this is you. This is you in the white hat under the red arrow. And you're pointing at this lady right here and you're saying, hey, see that business that you have right over there on that hill? It's literally sitting on a gold mine. And she's, hey, Jason, I would love to get the gold out. How do I get it out? And you're like, I'm going to have to do some things, but I can get the gold out. And she goes, I'll pay you a certain amount of money. And you're like, that's great. That is what this is. Their list is that gold mine. Let me ask you this. What would you rather reach out to if you were a business? Would you rather reach out to warm leads or cold leads? Drop it in the chat. Would you rather reach out to warm leads or cold leads? Alex says hot, warm, warm, awesome. Now, according to Growform, now I asked ChatGPT to find up a study, so if you want to confirm Growform, I have no idea what study Growform is, but according to Growform, warm leads close at an average rate of 14.6%, while cold leads close at 1.7%. That's nearly 9 times higher close rate for warm leads. That means that if you generate 900 cold leads that have never ever known your business, and I have a database of 100, we're going to close the same amount. Austin, let me ask you this, since you know everything. How do you actually define a warm lead? I asked ChatGPT, I said, ChatGPT, how do you define a warm lead? And ChatGPT said, a warm lead is someone who already knows about your business and has shown some level of interest, but has not bought. And I said, ChatGPT, you're wrong. I'm going to throw on one more thing. Maybe they know about your business and they have already bought, because that's still a warm lead, right? They don't know about your business and they haven't bought, or they know about your business and they have bought. Those are still warm leads. So what you're telling me, Austin, I know I've got two personalities going right now. My girlfriend has a problem with it, but I don't. So we're okay. So what you're saying is, so businesses that have lists of people that Either A, opted in through a funnel, B, set an appointment, C, no showed to an appointment, D, rescheduled an appointment, 5, said not right now, 6, follow up later, 7, downloaded a lead magnet, 8, signed up for a newsletter, 9, gave you their business card, or 10, purchased a service from them. Those are all hot leads, right? And since hot leads convert at 9 times higher than cold leads, they're sitting on a gold mine if they have a database, correct? I know, Alex, I went from letters to numbers, and I'm hoping that's okay with all of you. So here's the crazy thing about marketing agencies right now. And there's nothing wrong with telling people they need to buy new leads, but if they have a database, they don't need to buy new leads yet. Yet. The answer is yet. The three-letter word, yet. What they need is they need a system or systems in place to reactivate, that's spelled wrong, their already existing warm list. It's not spelled wrong, but it's the wrong context, but you get the point. Austin, what you're telling me is that if a business has a leads list that is opted in through a funnel, that has set an appointment, that no showed to appointment, rescheduled to an appointment, said not right now, follow up later, downloaded a lead magnet, signed up for a newsletter, gave a business card, purchased, that this business has a warm leads list and they're sitting on a pot of gold, right? Now, here's the crazy thing is that database reactivation, this does much more than just find them business, because that's what a lot of people are teaching when it comes to database reactivation. They're saying, oh, run a database reactivation campaign and you'll find them business right now. You'll get them new leads right this second, and you won't have to. Okay, it does much more than that. When you set up database reactivation campaigns properly, what it's doing is it's laying the plumbing for cold leads to start coming in. Now, I'm going to ask all of you smart people, what happens if you build a house before laying the plumbing? When someone needs to go to the bathroom, you get poop everywhere. And nobody wants poop everywhere because the plumbing isn't laid. So, database reactivation, it lays the plumbing first before you build the house. And if someone just so happened to build the house first, we need to come back in and we need to lay the plumbing because, excuse my language, the business probably got shit everywhere. And as an agency owner, your job is to clean it up, organize it, and let them know that you can start to separate things and organize things to make sure that the crap goes where it's supposed to go. Which leads us into important object number 3 is what is DBR? What is DBR really? Now, database reactivation is an umbrella term. This is where we're going to cross a line into what gurus out there are not actually telling you and what they don't actually know. And what I'm going to jump into next, if you guys have notes or if you're not paying attention, right now is the part of this where I would sit up straight on the edge of my chair, because this right here is where I'm going to go into my pitch of how I pitch businesses and close them on $10,000 deals. Because they say, Austin, how can you help me? And I say, that's a great question. I say, listen here, Mr. and Mrs. Business Owner, you've got a database of 1,000 people, right? Now, I want you to imagine that 1,000 people, they're standing in a park, all right? And math and science says that if you go talk to every single person individually, math and science and economics and whatever other weird adjective we want to come up with says that if you talk to every one of them individually, you will find 5, 10, 15 people that are ready to buy. The problem is you're also going to find people that say we're interested, but we're ready later. You're going to find people that say, hey, I don't belong in this park. We're going to say people that are like, who the freaking hell are you? And here's the problem with talking to every single person individually is as the business owner, you don't have time. So I have an idea. How do you reach out to every single person that's standing in the park? How do you reach out to them all individually to make sure that you get the best out of your database? My system of database reactivation is like a megaphone. Imagine if you were able to stand up on a hill and you could say, hey, database, who's interested in buying right now? And you would get 10, 15, 20 people to raise their hand. Then, what if you were to ask the question, hey, database, who's interested in buying later? And you would get 10, 15, 20, 30 people raise their hand. Then, what if you would say, hey, database, people in the park, you two under the tree doing weird things, I need you to pay attention because I'm on a megaphone. Who has already bought from us? And you would get 15, 20, 30, 40 people raise their hand. They say, we're already buyers. And then you would reach out on the megaphone again and you say, hey, creepy people under the tree, you in the hammock, do you even belong here? And you would get a handful of 15, 20, 30, 40 people that say, hey, you have the wrong number. We don't belong in this park. You have no business reaching out to us. So, database reactivation is not a system that just finds businesses, people that are ready to buy right now. It is a system that becomes a filtration system that separates an entire database into very important columns. One, people that are ready to buy now, people that are ready to buy later, people that are already customers, and people that need to be removed from the system. Now we know exactly who the business owner needs to reach out to. We know exactly who we need to set up a nurturing campaign for that said, please, we're interested, but follow up later. We know exactly who people are that have already purchased from us that we could ask for reviews and referrals from. We know people that said, hey, you have the wrong number, we're in the wrong park, please stop having your call team call us. So here's the best part for the business owner. Not only are you showing them where they can find money now and find money later, you are also showing them a system where you can stop wasting their time, where their time is not wasted. And I'll tell you what, for every single person that is a business owner on this call, time is more valuable than money to a lot of these business owners. And if you can save them time, they will pay attention. Because every marketer out there is, oh, I could save you money. Yeah, that's great. I go to the car dealership down the street and they can save me $200. But if I go to the car dealership down the street and he says, I'll save you an entire weekend from buying a car with me, I'm going to buy the car with him because I'd rather do something on my next weekend than just go buy another car. So database reactivation is much more than a system that finds you buyers now and finds you buyers later. It helps a business owner save time and save their call agents time from calling people that don't need to be called. Now, here's the best part about this is once you have these systems in place and you have automation set up for people that are ready to buy now, you have a drip campaign that is set up for people that are ready to buy later. You have a drip campaign that is set up for people that no-showed appointment, that said, we're interested, but call us later. They said, we need to reschedule. You have the wrong number. And you've set up these automations, these database reactivation automations. Once you've set up the plumbing and laid out those automations, You have now laid the plumbing for new and cold leads to start coming in because you have really good marketers like Justin, is it Nick Tan, that are doing AI ads plus AI. I'll tell you what, you run $1,000 in ads and you have 20 people book an appointment. What happens if you have the person say reschedule the appointment or no show the appointment? Wouldn't it be nice to have that plumbing already in place? And guys like Justin probably already have these systems in place. Some other people, they don't. You want to make sure that you have the systems in place for appointments, no shows, not interested, reschedules. My wife said, wait. My business partner said, hold up. My daughter had a dance recital. There's so many excuses that come out of people's mouths that you want to have systems already in place. Because here's the best thing about the human brain is there's only so many ways to say no. There's only so many ways to say wait. There's only so many ways to say not right now. So if I could just have some funnels and some systems built out for every single person that said, I'll book an appointment and didn't show up, or I'll book an appointment, they showed up and they said, not right now, or they showed up, they liked what they saw and they said, I need to talk to my business partner. And if you had those systems already in place, you'd be winning, right? It's not just about finding business now. It's about building a filtration system that brings interested buyers to the top, sets up nurturing systems for those who are interested in the future, builds out systems for those who already bought and you need to collect reviews and referrals, and saving a business owner time by getting rid of the wrong numbers and the tire kickers. Now, you want to know what my pitch is to companies when it comes to database reactivation? Are you ready for the most complex thing you've ever heard in your entire life? I have a tool that can turn your older cold data into new appointments. Would you be open to taking a look? Now, this pitch goes for many different services. I have a tool that can turn your older cold customers into 5-star reviews. I have a tool that can turn your website visitors into new leads. I have a tool that can blankety blank. Would you be open to taking a look? Every single person that I have sold a 10K offer to, I listen to their problems. They say, listen, I got a tool that can turn your older cold data into new appointments. I do not say AI. I don't say database reactivation. I don't say speed to lead. I don't say closebot. I don't say neuro linguistic programming. I don't say anything. I literally say, I have a tool that can turn your older cold data into new appointments. You want to know how many of them ask me what the tool is? They don't care. They don't care if it's a pager. They don't care if it's a homing pigeon. They don't care if it's a knight on a horse. They don't care if it's an email. They don't care if it's a text message. They never have asked me. The company that you saw in the beginning that just paid me $9,000, they didn't ask me what software I'm using. They go, Austin, we just got a bunch of new appointments. I said, cool. I think AI needs to pre-qualify them a little better because of this. Or, oh, I think AI did cool, excellent. They have no clue. And so what I do is I say, hey, I have a tool that can turn your older cold database into new appointments. Would you be open to taking a look? They say, yeah, absolutely. Cool. So what my tool does is I send out messages and it separates your database from new leads, pending leads, follow up, and then it helps your call agents move them down these pipelines. And that's it. And I show them super, super simple pipeline. And I show them, I say, my system will separate your leads that need to be followed up with now, need to be followed up with later, said they already bought your service, or literally told you to burn in hell. That's what I do. I take your older cold database and I filter it. Now, some of you might think this looks cool. This right here has been my bread and butter for 5 years, okay? And I just now figured out how to use the workflow AI. I didn't have workflow AI before. I literally, my conditional statement was like, hey, this is Austin with ABC Solar. You showed interest in our program. Are you still open to putting solar on your home? And then I had to plug every single possible response into the condition. Some would say yes, yep, uh-huh, maybe, sure, thumbs up, thumbs down, burn in hell, crazy, dumb, stupid, I hate you, Trump sucks, Biden sucks. Like literally, I had to plug in all of these random responses into my conditions to decide which path they go down, which filter do they go down. Now, because High Level has workflow AI, I can actually prompt it, and it's been working really well. I have sent 10,000 people through this exact workflow that you're looking at, and I have only had 10 people go through the default, which means AI did not pick up their response. And I have an unfair advantage. I've sent probably 100,000 text messages through a similar workflow. But guess what? Those of you using CloseBot, do you know what this is right here? This right here is this. It is the exact same thing. And when I saw CloseBot come out, I said, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Why? Because it had this switch node right here that could determine intent. I got on a call with Justin and he gave me an epiphany. He was like, it was the intent. What did you call it, Justin? The intent buckets. He said something about intent. So all I was like, oh, so really I just need to decipher when I send a message to someone, I just need to figure out what their intent was, and I need AI to decide what their intent is. Are they ready now? Are they ready later? Did they already buy? Are they telling me to burn in hell? Are they telling me wrong number? Or do I not understand and I need to create a new column? And so I set this up with CloseBot. I have run probably 40,000 text messages through this CloseBot. One solar company, we found 690 people said they were still interested in solar in 30 days. This company right here that I'm running this one through, we found over 300 people said they're still interested in solar. They closed the deal within 8 days of me running this database reactivation campaign. Now, right here, this is a tool. This is text message. This is one tool. If I could figure out how to do this as fast using fax machines, I would use it. If I could figure out how, if people still had pagers, I would use pagers. If people were still opening emails as much as text messages, I would be using emails. One day, it's going to be your Alexa notification where someone walks into their kitchen and it says, hey, Austin, just wanted to let you know that so-and-so reached out and said that solar is still a great option for your home. What should I say to them? Then one day it's going to be your freaking car. You're gonna start your car and it's gonna be like, hey Austin, so and so reached out from ABC Solar. Do you want me to shut them down or no? Then one day it's gonna be Neuralink inside of your head, and you're gonna wake up and this chip inside of your brain is gonna say, hey, are you still interested in this product or not? And then you're just gonna think. And you'll be like, I am, and then it's gonna send them back a notification. So the process stays the same. The tools are going to continue to change. All right, and those are the fundamentals of database reactivation. If you would like any assistance in High Level or would like to know how to do database reactivation with High Level all by itself, I'm about to drop a new training inside of my GHL Blueprint community. It's a free school community. The link is in the description below. Click the link, jump inside, and I look forward to seeing you all on the inside.